this movie. Like, it's not as memorable. Like, the dialogue, that's arguable, but I feel like it's not as quotable as his other stuff.
I could see that. Yeah, I would agree with what you're saying. Yeah.
Anything else?
Well, no, we're not going to end the
That's
discussion. That's it. Move on to the next. No, first of all, I thought you would have this as a Swan fact, but he was actually Tarantino was talking to DiCaprio to be the...
Well, we haven't done the Swan facts.
Oh, okay, I don't want to
Jumping the gun, Chris.
No, go ahead, in case I don't have it. That's fine.
But DiCaprio was going to be the Hans Landa character in Inglourious Basterds.
Mm-hmm.
He was approaching DiCaprio to do that, and I don't know if that didn't work out or if Tarantino decided he should be older. I think it works much better with him as an older person, like Christoph Waltz and everything.
Yeah.
I know DiCaprio was like 40 or just under 40 at the time, but he still looks very young. So I don't know if I could see DiCaprio playing that role, maybe because Christoph Waltz was so great in it. But I was glad that DiCaprio got in this one and he could play the villain. And I just want to say that he looked like he was having the time of his life playing a villain.
Oh yeah,
in the film, yeah, like
you can see it definitely.
He was having so much fun.
Monsieur Candy.
Yeah, playing the bad guy in the movie.
Yeah, it flows very well, very well. I think he, as wicked as he is, he's definitely the highlight of the film. I think just his performance.
Yeah.
So I'd have to agree. Yeah.
I mean, Sam Jackson looked like he was having a lot of fun playing.
But he always does.
Kind of but playing more of like the villain in the movie,
or just kind of like a backstabber.
Yeah.
Right, because he's kind of he's kind of going against his own people.
Yeah.
Like he's a fucking, I don't know. It was just annoying a little bit.
But DiCaprio especially looked like he was just having so much fun being like the bad guy, and I don't think that has he ever done a movie where he's been a villain.
Nothing to that capacity, for sure. Okay. He was very, very bad in that, when you think about it.
Yeah.
Like the whole Mandingo stuff.
The Mandingo fighting?
It's very unforgivable.
Yeah.
Things that he does in that film.
But you love to hate him in that movie.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. He's very charming in a weird way.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't want to ruin anything, Swan, if you got your facts.
No, man. I'm all for you killing it anyway. If you want to kill facts, that's fine. They're still, as long as they're being said, it's fine.
Well, the movie is like over the top violent.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but this movie came out like at Christmas time, and it was like just 2, maybe 3 weeks.
Didn't some kind of tragedy happen?
It was the Sandy Hook massacre.
Yes.
In Newtown, Connecticut, had happened like just a few weeks before the movie came out, so there was a lot of controversy surrounding the violence in the film, especially because there was just this mass shooting a few weeks before, and I think they delayed like the premiere of the film.
And he was super pissed about that, right? I thought I had heard that Tarantino was mad that people weren't going to get to see it when they were supposed to. I could be wrong, but I thought I had heard that. I
can't speak on that, but yeah, I get where he's coming from if that's true.
I believe at the same around that time, Kick-Ass 2 was happening.
Yeah.
Right? And because of the Sandy Hook stuff, Jim Carrey dropped out of promoting for that film. He said, I've had a change of heart and I don't want to be attached to this film. I can't show up to any of the red carpet premieres. I don't want to talk about it, nothing. So just throwing that in there as a little veering off a little bit. I thought that was an interesting thing.
It relates to it though.
Right.
But with respect to the violence and it's over the top and everything, it's really only over the top and crazy bloody when the bad guys are getting it. Like the slave owners and the overseers and everything. Like when there's actual violence perpetrated against the slaves, it's actually very horrible and brutal.
Yeah.
And the way that it's filmed.
It's very, I feel like it's more to make you feel like he's very masterful at doing that. Like, all the violence seems to be very justified, at least in Tarantino's way. And like he was saying, like when the slaves and stuff are being tortured or anything that has to do with them, there's a very different tone that comes into play. That it's more there's a realm of realism that goes into it, and it just makes you feel bad. And it's almost like encapsulating what a lot of people probably went through in that time or whatever. So it's almost just like recreating something that happened in history, which is why I think it was so cool that he did kind of what he did for the Bastards film, where he kind of gives an entire race like their opportunity at revenge. Yeah. Right. Which could lead us into the Spike Lee controversy that he was quoted saying, I'm not going to go see this movie, and I'm not a fan of Tarantino because Django, or what did he say? Slavery and what my ancestors went through was pretty much like the Holocaust, not a spaghetti western. And when you put it like that, it's like, yeah, and it's kind of hard for me to debate the guy, because it's like, yes, it's his ancestors, and who am I to say anything about how he feels, right? Yeah. But I feel like he's missing the bigger picture, that this is for kind of like a redemption for African American and their, like their culture or whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? I feel like his heart was in the right place in what he was trying to do. I don't think he was trying to exploit anything.
Absolutely.
It was not. How do you say this? I don't know. It just wasn't like, he didn't have any negativity in mind. You know what I mean? It was more
like Jim says. He wasn't trying to exploit.
He wasn't trying to exploit slavery or the trials that they went through.
Yeah. But he was making a good revenge story based in that time.
Yeah. And with his own twist of kind of like the spaghetti western, so that things are kind of more animated and things are, that are happening that probably wouldn't. But I think that it works.
Definitely. No, I would agree.
And enough people went to see it that we could say that it was a success, and it does work.
Yeah. Right. I was going to say, I like Jonah Hill's his little cameo that he has in it.
Yes.
And that whole scene where the whole the KKK or whatever, there's one guy in there, he's like, I can't see anything in my holes.
I had forgot about that.
That part every time I watch it, I have to like post a video of that, just because like it's probably it's like one of the the funniest moments in that movie. It's just like when one of the guys tries to rip it a little bigger, and then he rips the whole thing. He's like, oh, you can see my face.
Dude, like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, your wife was in charge of doing the bags. Exactly, and he's like, we're never doing anything for you, goddamn fucking ungrateful sons of bitches.
Yes. Oh, that part is just great. Well, that's probably one of my favorite moments from that movie.
Yeah, and again, that way, I feel like he's portraying white people as being dumb and ignorant.
Yeah. Well, he's getting a good joke over on the KKK, or at least the early version of the KKK, by just making them bumbling idiots. Mm-hmm. And I think that is really funny, because they were terrible people and evil people and everything, but he's really making fun of them.
But it's just funny that because I've talked to several people who were like, this film is racist. Tarantino is a racist, and he'll take any kind of chance to do that, or to drop the N-bomb, or to do like this kind of story or whatever. And it's just like, were you not paying attention to the meat of what he did, or like what was going on in the structure and stuff? Because it's clearly the most anti-racist thing you could ever do, or you know what I mean? Yeah. As far as watching, yes, they dropped the N-bomb, and yes, the way that the period is very authentic, but that's all justified to kind of show you the depravity in which people were living in that time.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, all it is like so that the outcome and the revenge is much more
that much sweeter.
Yeah, at the end you're like, oh, well, all these people got what they deserved. If they were to sugarcoat things, then it would be like this kind of back and forth of, oh, well, you know, is it really justified?
Yeah.
So, it's kind of weird that that's even a debate, but it really is.
Yeah,
yeah, it really, really is. It's weird.
No, I'm not gonna fight anyone that has a different opinion of the movie than me. Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Yeah.
But I do like the movie, and I think Tarantino himself was saying like, I'm using this as a backdrop, but I'm not trying to make a serious message movie. It's it's not my place to be doing that. But I think like the violence against like the overseers and the like the slave owners and everything, that makes it justified.
Yeah.
You said, I think you told me at work that this was the most N-bombs in a movie or something like that.
They drop it like 100 and something. I don't know the exact number. It's 100 and something, but it's like the most times that the N-bomb was dropped in a movie ever. Django Unchained. And I could see that because they throw it around very, very fucking like loosely.
Yeah.
And it is a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
Oh, well. You got a Swan fact?
Yes, I have a couple, I think, for this one. So the film was shot in 130 days, which marks the longest shooting for him to date, as far as a film. I think it's his most expensive film.
100 mil, yeah. I was surprised when they said
that
that thing cost $100 million.
Yeah, it was. So it's his most expensive film to date, I believe, and that's what I got for the Swan Facts.
I believe it's his most successful film.
Really?
In the end, now, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know that, not to spoil anything for Hateful Eight, but I know it didn't do as well as his later films.
No, I have a couple of theories on that as well. Jamie Foxx obviously plays Django.
Yes.
Do you know that they were talking to Will Smith?
I do, and to piggyback on you, I know that he turned it down because he felt that Christoph Waltz was the main character and he wanted Django to be the main. Or no, he got mad. Sorry, let me correct myself. He got mad that Christoph Waltz kills Candy. And he felt that Django should have been the one to kill Candy, so that's why he was like, no, I don't want to fucking do it.
Well, I couldn't imagine Will Smith and
I feel like I would have been like, this is like Wild Wild West Part 2.
What's the Fresh Prince doing back in Western times?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, especially because Wild Wild West was such a bomb. Like,
yes,
to see him like in another Western would have been weird.
Veering off a little bit, have you seen the trailer for Bright? Do you have any thoughts about Bright?
I'll watch Bright.
I think it looks good.
I think it looks badass.
I think David Ayer, especially when he's in like Los Angeles and doing a crime movie, is great. Not so much at Suicide Squad.
But you have to think about he was being very much overseen with everything. That's not so much a David. He's attached to it, but it wasn't his film. Like,
you're talking like DC was.
Yeah.
That's what we talked about.
That he was during his panel. He was saying how he loved Netflix so much more, or working with them because they basically give him free reign.
Here's the money. They just write him a check, and they
here's
say,
the money. Here's the funding.
Here's
the funding. Run with your vision and just do whatever you want. So with Bright, I feel like we're getting a David film as opposed to Suicide Squad. I think that he had shot a David film, and they went in and did those shitty reshoots and put all that forced humor in there, and so the final product is kind of weird. And I feel like he knows that.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
and-
real. That's why it's real choppy.
Yeah,
That movie.
the continuity is really weird if you pay attention to.
I saw it once. That was enough.
I'm a fan.
I thought
I'm a fan of it.
I thought you were. I remember you saying you thought it was a